Okay, so I'm doing some case studies connecting the dots between our psychic abilities, the different clairs that we have, right? Clairsentient, clairaudient, clairvoyant, the different clairs, and the connection to astrology and your strongest element in your birth chart. Okay, so this isn't just your sun sign or your moon sign or your rising sign and what element that is. This is the strongest overall element in your birth chart. So, and that being connected to how the clairs show up for you. This is a working theory. It's not a perfect science, but I'm playing with these ideas, and that is, I'll speak for myself first. So I have really strong air in my birth chart. I have Libra stellium in the 11th house. I have my Mars in Gemini. I have a lot of air, my North Node in Aquarius. Lots of air in my birth chart. I need to communicate. I need to speak. I need to share my thoughts and my ideas. I need to send 20-minute long voice memos to my friends. I love receiving information in this way too. I'm a very audible learner. So a lot of times I would prefer listening to an audio book, listening to that book, getting the information in that way over reading something. And so having such strong air in my birth chart, the psychic ability that shows up, one of the stronger ones for me is clairaudient. And so that is the ability to hear things. So a lot of times I will hear information, I'll hear words, or I'll hear full sentences when I'm reading for somebody, when I'm doing a psychic reading or a mediumship reading. Sometimes the information comes through in that way where I actually hear it, and other times I can feel when I'm going to channel something, I feel it like coming, and I can't even write as fast as it can come through. So I'll get a voice note and just start recording everything that comes through, because it's like I can feel the words about to to drop into my consciousness, and then I can feel that it needs to come out. And so that is the strongest, one of the strongest clairs for me. And I find that people with a lot of air in their chart can, receive information in that way. That can be a stronger clair for them, hearing things or also just writing things out. So sometimes in a reading, maybe if I don't hear the information, I'll just start writing, just kind of start free writing and dumping everything onto the paper. And sometimes I don't even know what's about to come out, but I'm just writing, like letting the air element move through me. And so that clair in particular, the clairaudient, being connected to having a lot of air in your birth chart. I'm curious if you have experienced this for yourself, if you have a lot of air, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius energy in your chart. Again, not just your sun sign or your moon sign, but that element being the strongest for you. So that is one of them. Another clair that shows up, well, two of them that show up really strongly for me, and that I feel can be connected to the water element. So I also have a lot of water in my birth chart, a lot of air, and a lot of water. And water is our ability to feel things. It is our emotions, our internal world, our sensitivity. And so for the water element, if you have a lot of that Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces energy in your birth chart, again, the element being a really strong one for you, maybe the strongest element, or you have two that are really strong. Like for me, it's air and water. And so if you have a lot of water in your birth chart, that could be connected to the clairsentient. I feel that this shows up a lot for people. Again, if you have strong water, maybe you feel things really deeply in your physical body. So I'll get goosebumps. I'll feel, a certain part of my body will get really hot when I'm reading for somebody and they, the person that they know died in that way, or it's a living person and they have something going on with a certain area of their body. It'll get extremely like lit up for me, maybe really hot. Just the energy will kind of concentrate in that area. And so this is like gut feelings too, the water element and Cancer literally rules the stomach area. So that's how the intuition, the psychic abilities, the clairs can show up sometimes for the water element, is that clairsentient, that feeling, the deep feeling in your body. And along with that, how the clairs can kind of work together. For me, the clairsentient and claircognizant, I feel the claircognizant could also be connected to the water element or air, possibly fire. This is a working theory, but for me, the clairsentient and claircognizant show up together, where it's like the feeling, the sentient part is feeling something physically in your body, and then the claircognizant, that knowing, like that just innate knowing of what was going on for that person. So those two clairs kind of show up and work together for me. And then I'm finding with people with a lot of earth in their chart, if they have the strong earth element, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo energy, they could have the clair where they feel things, but not in the same way that it's clairsentient, but like feeling physical things touch their body. Like maybe, a loved one that's passed, like grabs their hand, or they feel like a gust of air, touch their skin, and they know that it's that person, that had passed. So it could also be taste, it could be smell, the earth element that is very connected to the physical, the material realm. So at times, possibly that clair ability could be the strongest for them. Again, I'm curious to get feedback from people and to hear how this shows up for you. And then I find that the fire element can really be connected to, it can vary, but I feel like there could be clairvoyance connected to the fire element, of the seeing things clearly. And it's not, I say seeing things clearly, but when we see things in like psychic readings, it's not like, generally, it's not like a full apparition of the person standing there in front of you. It can be that way, but sometimes it's like subtle, kind of fuzzy images. And so just keeping that in mind when we're saying like we see things, it probably is very different for each person, but the fire element could be connected to that. And it could also be connected to the claircognizance, I feel, because fire is very instinctive. It's very like, just, I know that this is the thing that I need to do. It's like trusting your instincts, and it's not like a deep feeling kind of energy. So the fire element could be connected to the claircognizance as well, of that just that innate feeling, that knowing of what the answer is. So yes, this is my working theory that I'm doing, but I find that there is a lot of truth connected to it. I feel that if you have that strongest element in your birth chart, seeing how it shows up in your life, if you have a lot of air element in your birth chart, you probably are going to prefer to listen to things, to take in information that way. And so those senses are already heightened. The water element is just, it's innate within them that they feel things so deeply in their physical body. And so it's just like kind of bridging the gap from understanding that we all have these abilities to a certain degree. We can all access our intuition on a deeper level, and it isn't always crazy life-changing things where it's like you get the message to, I don't know, move yourself out of a situation that like prevented you from dying. It could be little subtle things, but like the other day I got a message again. So the clairaudient, the information coming in, because I'm somewhere where it's cold and it's winter. And so I got a message to like, okay, go into the store because they're going to have these like boots, these winter boots that I needed because I didn't have any boots for this snow. And so I went in and like, they were right there. They were just sitting right there waiting for me to pick them up. So it can be little things like that, but the closer that we are like living from that place, the closer that we're like aligned with that energy, with our higher self, with these messages, all of the little subtle messages that we like push to the side and say, oh, well, yeah, that's not really important, or I don't need to do that right now. Like those are the little messages that we need to be honoring every day, in a day-to-day level, in little ways and in big ways. But it starts with the small ways, like hearing the messages, honoring them, building trust within your body, and trusting your intuition, trusting the messages that are coming through. So yeah, this is my theory I'm working with. What do you think? How does it show up for you? Do you know your strongest element in your birth chart? Are you aware of which element is the most prominent for you, and how your intuition, your psychic abilities, the clairs show up for you? I'm very curious.